Harry Thomas's life was defined by his beloved wife, Ginny, and their 6-year-old daughter, Chloe. Ginny was 8 months pregnant with their second child, and Harry couldn't be more thrilled. The loving dad he was, Harry always made sure he spent more time with his family. In other words, his neighbors often envied their family evenings in the backyard filled with barbecues and movie nights on the projector. Some even wondered why Harry was so happy because most of them knew Harry was drowning in debt and hadn't had a promotion in 2 years. Harry was a manager in a software company in town. It was a regional office of a larger company in the neighboring state. He was lucky to land a job there, and it helped him pay off his credits on time. He worked hard day and night to repay all his debts and save enough money to buy a bigger house for his family. But for that, Harry badly needed a promotion. Even his colleagues and close friends wished he got one. "How I wish I get a surprise promotion and a handsome package," he often joked in the office. Harry would often discuss his future with his friends, but all his dreams were tied to just one thing, a promotion he'd only been dreaming of. But when he returned to work the following Monday, there was some good news waiting. "It's good to hear, Mr. Thomas, so I called to let you know that the boss wants to meet you in a couple of days," the company's secretary, Miss Elena, informed Harry. "I'll send you the flight tickets and hope you have a good journey." Harry was overly excited because he anticipated a promotion. His records were clear and his performance peaked over the previous years. He just knew it and couldn't stop dreaming. He hurried home after work and shared the good news with Jenny. Though she was happy, she advised him not to expect too much and stay prepared for a formal meeting. "Of course, I'd be on cloud 9 if you get promoted," Jenny encouraged Harry, who knew she wasn't being negative but just wanted him to be prepared for the alternative. Harry was set to leave on Wednesday afternoon, the taxi waiting to take him to the airport. His things were moved in and he was all set to go. Although this wasn't the first time he was going on a business trip, something felt awkward this time. "Bye, Papa, and don't be away for long. Love you," were the last few words he heard from his daughter Chloe. Harry kissed Jenny and his daughter goodbye and boarded the cab. For some reason, he was worried and wished he just got an email about his meeting rather than have to visit his boss in person. He reached the airport around half an hour later. Since he had to collect necessary documents from his office, it took time. The airport wasn't large, but rather moderately sized for domestic air travel. The single-engine airplanes there only carried 20 to 30 passengers, nothing more than that. Harry boarded one of these flights that day. The plane took off while he sat by the window, dreaming about his promotion. Around half an hour later, the plane shuddered. Although Harry wasn't new to turbulence, this felt strange. "What's going on?" the passengers chorused. Even Harry knew something was wrong. Moments later, the stewardess rushed around the cabin, panicking. "Please stay in your seats. Please, everyone, don't move," she shouted. At this point, the people on board were frightened, and Harry wanted to know what was wrong. When the stewardess went away into the cockpit, he couldn't remain calm anymore and followed her. "Oh my God, I don't believe this," Harry shrieked in horror after seeing the pilot's seat empty. "Where is the pilot?" He walked forward and found the pilot holding his chest, unconscious on the floor. He checked the man's pulse and found out that he was still alive, but the plane was descending uncontrollably. From Harry's knowledge, none of the passengers knew how to operate an aircraft because they were all familiar. "I have to hurry, I have to do this," Harry mumbled in fear as he grabbed the pilot's headphones and put them on. He told the controller about the mishap, and with zero knowledge of flying a plane, he mustered the courage to operate it. Yes, that's right, just align the aircraft with the horizon," the coordinator instructed Harry. "Yes, that one is the navigator, just head for it and I'll send you the coordinates." Harry did just what he was told. He was sweating and his hands trembled, but he knew his life and the lives of the 20-plus passengers were in his hands now. Around 15 minutes into the horrific flight, Harry flew to the nearest airfield with ample airstrips for an easy landing. As the plane neared the spot, he was sweating even more. He knew a single mistake would crash the plane along with all their lives and dreams. "Stay calm, you can do it, the coordinator encouraged Harry. Moments later, the plane shuddered again, but it had already landed on the destined airstrip this time. Harry couldn't believe his eyes and what he had just done. He breathed heavily and rushed out of the cockpit to bring help to carry the pilot to an ambulance. "Hurry up, this way," the stewardess rushed while Harry and 2 other men followed with the pilot in their arms. The man was taken away in the ambulance. All the passengers on the ill-fated flight thanked Harry and couldn't stop crying. Harry saw a guy wave at the gate and met him shortly after. "Good gracious, Mr. Thomas, I'm Jacob. You saved so many lives," the coordinator thanked Harry. "The journalists must be here soon to interview you." But Harry refused to stay back. He pictured his wife and daughter, and he wanted to rush home and hug them. Moments later, Harry was driven home by taxi. He'd forgotten about his business trip and his promotion. "Oh, darling, I'm glad you're okay," Ginny cried after Harry narrated the entire incident. Shortly after, several journalists flocked outside Harry's home to interview him. Soon, the small-town dad became the talk of the state and famous for saving the lives of 25 people, including himself. Harry's boss called him shortly after and revealed his promotion. "The other details will be sent via mail. Congrats on your new role as our general manager, Mr. Thomas. I'm so proud of you," the boss spoke. Harry was emotional. He laughed, cried, and mumbled because he couldn't believe what he'd just heard. He relaxed on the balcony, dreaming about his new role, and saw an airplane cross high above his area. He smiled looking at it and realized that heroes aren't born, they're made.